So the truth about fitness content on YouTube is that a lot of it is generalized. A lot of the information that you guys are hearing, even from my channel, can apply to the masses. And because of that, unfortunately, this may not be able to help you specifically. It may not be able to answer a specific question or concern or plateau that you are experiencing, because we would need to know, and I say we as the creators, would need to know more specific information about where you're at, what you're doing, and where you're trying to go, so that we can give you the answers to your specific situation so that you can actually achieve your goals. And because I just want to be able to help every single one of you as much as possible beyond my one-on-one coaching that I do offer, I recently had asked you guys on my community tab, what are some questions that you would love for me to answer so that I can help you? So let me actually pull up the questions that I got, because we got some good questions. I was surprised. I was like, "Ooh, this is a good question. This is a good question." Question number 1, what happens if you're stuck at the same weight week after week after week? The weight you use is moderate, but a few pounds heavier and you can't do it. How long would it take to finally break through that plateau? There's 2 ways that I recommend, and I actually have my clients do, and this usually helps them get past that plateau point. If your sleep is good, you're eating before your workouts, that's not an issue, then the 2 ways is, 1, you can change up the tempo of the exercise. So let's say, for example, with hip thrusts, okay? You know, with a hip thrust, you have the weight on top of your thighs and then you descend down and then you go up. So what you can do to challenge yourself with that weight that you feel like you are at a plateau with is you can go slower down. So take 3 seconds to slowly bring your hips all the way down and then push up. Because when you do that, it's your glute muscles that's controlling the descent of the exercise, and that will help strengthen your glute muscles, which is a muscle that is primarily working when you do hip thrusts. Now, another option is you can do pauses. So when you go all the way up, you can hold it at the top for about 2-3 seconds, then go down, and all the way up, hold it at the top, 2-3 seconds. So you can do these tempo variations for every single rep of your set. Now, the second way that you can go about breaking through this plateau, this honestly only applies though to weights with like a dumbbell or machine where you have like the stack of weights and you use that pin to kind of insert into the weight. You cannot do this method with a barbell or a Smith machine unless you have like people literally on each side of the bar to stack on the weight in between your reps. So what you want to do, for example, let's talk about with sumo squats, okay? Sumo squats with a dumbbell. Let's say you've been at 50 pounds sumo squats for weeks and you just can't get past it. So what you want to do is you want to do 3 sets, let's say of 8 to 10 reps. Now you're going to grab a 50-pound dumbbell and you want to grab a 55-pound dumbbell. You're going to bring them both next to you so that you start off your set with the 55-pound dumbbell. You do as many reps as possible, even if that's like 3 reps, okay? Do as many reps as you possibly can with good form. And once you can no longer do any more reps, you drop that heavy weight and then you pick up the 50-pound dumbbell and you finish off your set of 8 to 10 reps with the 50-pound dumbbell. And you're going to repeat that same thing, starting off with the heavy one, do as many reps as possible, drop it, and do the lighter one for all 3 sets. And then what you're going to notice over time is that you're going to be able to do more reps with that heavier weight. So maybe week 1, you could only do 3 reps with the 55, but then week 5, you can do 5 reps with the 55. And you're slowly going to be able to get to that point where you can do all your reps for all 3 sets with that heavy weight and break through that plateau point. Question number 2 is, I'm trying to lose that last 20 to 25 pounds by body composition. What are some good tips? Right now, I train 3 to 4 times a week and I always hit 10K steps every day, but I eat only 2 meals, trying to get as much protein as I can, but it's like I hit a plateau with my weight loss. I can be honest and say I can do better on my diet as well. Okay, girl, it sounds like you kind of just figured it out yourself, because when it comes to weight loss, essentially it really just comes down to caloric deficit. You have to be burning more calories than your body is actually consuming. How you can be in a caloric deficit, the best way is to go about it through your nutrition, right? You want to make sure that you're eating calories below your maintenance level. So let's say right now she is at 150 pounds and she wants to lose 20 pounds and get down to 130 pounds, right? But her caloric maintenance level to maintain that 150 pounds is going to be 2,000 calories. I'm just putting numbers out there. I don't know what her caloric maintenance level is because I don't have enough details. What you want to do, and I hope you're watching this video, is you want to eat less than 2,000 calories. So ideally about 500 calories below your maintenance. So that puts you at 1500 calories. Now, for your protein, because you may not be eating enough protein, and that's something that a lot of people struggle with and do wrong. You want to take your ideal weight and times that by 0.8. So let's do the calculation based off the example I gave. If her ideal weight is 130, then 130 times 0.8 is 105 grams. Now, because that's on the lower end, I really wouldn't recommend people to just stick to 100 grams of protein. You want to go to the higher end of the protein range. So usually it's 0.8 to 1 times your ideal body weight. So the lower range is you don't want to get less than 105 grams of protein a day. But then the higher range, I don't need to do the calculations because all you got to do is 1 times 130, and that's going to be 130. So if you use your ideal weight to gauge how much protein you should be having and it's under 110 grams of protein, do 1 times your ideal weight, okay? Because you really want to emphasize on getting your protein in so that you can really build muscle. But if your ideal weight is on a higher end, let's say 150, and you do 0.8 times 150 and it gives you 120, then you can really stick to that 120. You don't have to do 150 grams of protein a day because that's a lot of protein. That's a lot of protein. Now back to your question. You're saying that you get 10K steps a day, so that's perfect. You don't need to up your steps. And you're working out weight training 3 to 4 times a week, which is perfect. You don't need to increase that. So where it seems to come down to the issue is your nutrition. Now the protein, I feel like it might be an issue because you're having 2 big meals a day. I fear that you're not getting 130 grams of protein in with 2 big meals. I feel like you're probably hitting just 100. So you would need to up that and start having 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you want to make sure that your breakfast is a high protein meal, so at least 30 grams of protein. Now, even if we were to divide your calories right now into 3 meals instead of 2 meals, and you're still not seeing any changes on the scale, it probably means that you hit a plateau. Now, a plateau in weight loss comes down to if you're not seeing any changes, not just on the scale, but on your body as well, for over 4 weeks. You do not want to get so fixated on not seeing a change on the scale or your body after a week, 2 weeks, because your body can actually still be going through changes in terms of weight loss, but you're not going to notice it maybe until week 3, week 4. I see it so many times with my clients where week 1, week 2, the scale doesn't budge, nothing changes, but then we do week 4 and they lost 3 pounds. And we're like, oh, okay, so on average, you lost about 0.5 every single week. And then we see your waist, you lost an inch off your waist. So give yourself a solid 4 weeks. But if you feel like after 4 weeks, you're still in that plateau situation, then to break it, you're going to have to do a diet break. Because what ends up happening is your body is so smart. Your body is going to metabolize in a way so that it can actually still function and keep you alive. So what happens at first is when you're at the beginning of your weight loss journey and you first start a caloric deficit, your body is kind of in the shock mode, like, okay, well, what's going on? And it starts to shed the body fat. But over time, the body starts getting accustomed to this new caloric deficit that you introduced to it, and it no longer becomes something new that it doesn't know what to do. It adapts to it, so now it knows how to metabolize your body to this new amount of calories that you introduce. And once you reach that point, that's when you hit your plateau. That's when your body is not in that shock, oh my God, what's going on phase anymore. And it's in a, okay, cool, we know how to manage this because we've been doing this for a couple weeks. And then that's when you have to break that plateau by increasing your calories just a little bit. I usually have my clients go to their maintenance level, make sure it's very nutrient dense whole foods, not just junk food, okay? And then you want to do this for a couple of days, even maybe a week. And then after that, you want to go back down to your deficit. And also to address the whole thing where you said, I feel like I can do better with my diet. If you feel like you're not eating clean, whole foods, high protein meals 80% of the time, then clean it up. Only you know how clean you're eating. And sometimes I feel like we know what we have to do, but we just don't want to do it because it's kind of like taking us out of our comfort zone. But if you really, really want to lose those 20 to 25 pounds, you're going to have to make the changes that you know you have to make. Okay, so the next question is, I'm struggling with skinny fat. Oh, girl. Okay, I love this. I love this one. Like, I can feel my muscles, but they are under a layer of fat that I can move around. Should I increase my cardio or change my diet? I get 100 grams of protein every day. She followed up with also saying, I'm like a super fan girling right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, because when you guys ask me these questions, I ask you more details. Like, okay, can you tell me what you're doing, what your weight is, so I can get as much information as possible? So she said, I weigh about 148 pounds and I only do Orange Theory classes about 4 times a week. I get 5K steps a day and one strength class with running 1 to 2 miles after, about 7K on those days. I do OMAD after my workout and a little snack at night if I need more protein. What is OMAD? Let me ask ChatGPT. Oh, 1 meal a day. Girl, okay. There's so many problems with this. Okay, no shade, not trying to attack you or anything like that. I really do want to help you. So let's break it down. Ooh, okay, this is a lot. Let's break it down. So you want to do body recomposition, which is pretty much lose the body fat that you're saying you have over your muscles so that your muscles can be more revealed, can be more shown, and you want to build muscle a bit more. Now, in order for you to do this, you have to be eating either in a slight caloric deficit or at maintenance level. So based off everything I just said for the other question, you want to do that. You want to look at what your ideal weight is. So because you're doing body recomposition, I would say don't do like minus 20 pounds of where you're at. Since you're 148, you can look really different if you lose 10 pounds of body fat. Like if you get down to 138 or even 140, you can look extremely different because body fat takes up more space in your body than actual muscle does, right? Now, that means you want to be eating about like I would say 130 to 140 grams of protein. Now, this means your 1 meal a day is definitely not getting you your protein because there's no way you're having 1 meal that's getting you 130 grams of protein. I just can't see that happening. I cannot see that happening. So start off by having 2 meals a day. And then from that, go to 3 meals a day. You want to slowly make your way up to that. Now, the second thing is the workout structure you have. Orange Theory is great for cardio, but it's not going to build muscle. So because you're doing strength training 1 time a week and you're doing your cardio at Orange Theory 4 times a week, you need to switch up that structure. So you want to do Orange Theory, I would say like 2 times a week, max 3. And then you want to do strength training 3 to 4 times a week. You want to really prioritize strength training because this is what's going to help you build muscle. Now, when it comes to shedding that body fat, it's not the cardio, it's not the Orange Theory that's going to do that for you. It's your nutrition. It's making sure that you are eating enough. Now, because it seems like you're not eating enough because you're having just 1 meal a day, you're going to have to bump up your calories. Now, I know this might sound so counterintuitive because we are taught and preached online calorie deficit, calorie deficit. I literally just spoke about it earlier in this video that if you want to lose body fat, you need to be eating less calories than your body is burning. But for some people, and I've worked with clients like this, so I know it works. If you are eating too little calories, if you're eating 1,200 calories, which is not even enough calories for a toddler, you need to bump up your calorie intake. Because what happens when you start eating more, your metabolism is going to start working faster because now it's getting accustomed to, whoa, we're eating way more food. We need to work faster with our metabolism so that we can break down this food because now we're getting a lot more than what we're used to. And we need to break it down for energy and the different things that food serves in your body. Like I spoke about earlier, the body is very smart. It works with what you're giving it. So start by having 2 meals a day. Your body is going to start to metabolize that. You're going to be strength training more, working out, building muscle more. And you're also going to notice as you do this, you're going to be hungrier more. You're actually going to start having hunger cues for 2 meals a day, whether that's breakfast, lunch, or breakfast, dinner, or brunch, whatever. Figure it out, but have 2 meals a day and solid meals with whole foods, carbs, fats, protein. Now, once you get accustomed to that, you want to then introduce your third meal so that you're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's going to really help you, one, reach your protein goal for the day. 2, boost up your metabolism so that you can actually burn the body fat faster than what you're doing right now. And 3, you're going to fuel your body enough so that you can actually weight lift and lift heavy and build the muscles that you're looking to build. And this takes time. Okay, it takes time. It's not going to be easy, but I promise you, if you follow these steps, you're going to achieve that physique you're looking for and not have that skinny, fat physique. All right, the next question is, I'm always seeing the recommendation to lift heavy, but what is considered lifting heavy? Like at what weight for dumbbells and barbell is considered lifting heavy? I know I'm nowhere near it, but I would like to know what I need to be working towards on my strength training journey. That's an amazing question because I feel like a lot of people always ask when I post my videos, how much weight did you do? How many reps did you do? How many sets did you do? And this is where it comes down to, as I mentioned to you guys, the The content is very generalized and you need to break it down and apply it specifically to you, what you can lift, what you can do, where you're at, and where you're trying to go. So when people say lift heavy, you have to lift heavy according to what you can do. So no, I cannot tell you what weight is considered heavy because what's considered heavy for you may not be considered heavy for me or for the next person, etc. So what I would say, this is the rule of thumb I give a lot of my clients. If you can do over 12 reps of a particular exercise with good form and you have maybe 5, 10 more reps in you before you get to that failure point where your body physically cannot do a next rep, up the weights, up the weights. That means the weight you're doing is moderate and it's not heavy enough for you. When you reach to a weight where you get to rep 5, rep 6, and you are struggling, okay? You can barely get to rep 8. That is a heavy weight for you. So that's how you can gauge what is heavy for you, is knowing that you can't get past 8 reps without having proper form, proper range of motion for a particular weight for a certain exercise. The next question is, what are your thoughts on fasted workouts? I used to do it because exercising after eating, even hours later, made me feel quite nauseous. Things are better now, but sometimes I enjoy a fasted workout. Okay, so when it comes to fasted workouts, for some people, they love it, they do it, and for other people, they hate it. And I'm a person where fasted workouts, I cannot do it. I also don't recommend it to my clients, specifically when they're training legs, because if you know leg day takes you out. It takes so much energy out of you. So in order for you to really lift heavy and push yourself, you have to fuel your body. So you want to make sure that you're eating something that is carby, fatty, that can give you the energy that you're going to need to carry out that workout. It doesn't necessarily have to be 10, 20 minutes right before your workout. It can be an hour before, it can be maybe 2 hours. Like let's say you had lunch and then you're hitting the gym an hour and 2 hours after your lunch because your food digested and now you feel good, because you don't want to go to the gym on a full stomach feeling bloated and uncomfortable. Now, when it comes to fasted, you can do this honestly if you're doing a cardio day. Like if you wake up in the morning, you go down to the gym or you go over to the gym and you walk on a treadmill, do your cardio fasted. Cool. If you notice that you're not feeling lightheaded, you notice that you have all the energy to get you through the workout, by all means, do it. You can probably even get away with it for upper body day too, depending on how heavy your upper body days are. But if you notice that when you're doing your workouts and you don't have energy, you're relying just on caffeine, you're having a coffee before putting anything else in your system, or a pre-workout or energy drink before putting any type of food in your body to get you through that workout, then you should be eating something before your workout. And that can be as big as a whole meal, or that can literally be something like a banana, or as I said earlier, rice cracker, banana, honey on top type of vibe. You also had a follow-up question. Also curious to hear your thoughts on extended fasting, for example, OMAD. Okay, now we know what that means. I'm glad I looked that up. So I would have been like, hey, what is this? So 1 meal a day and how that interacts with exercise. Would you recommend cardio on fasting days and strength training on eating days? So 1 meal a day, I don't recommend. I don't recommend it regardless what your goals are, because I feel like a lot of people have this mentality that, okay, if I want to lose weight, I have to eat less. So let me just cut out 2 meals and have 1 meal a day, less calories. No, no, sweetheart. Because what's going to happen, as I mentioned, you're going to slow down your metabolism. Your metabolism is going to adapt to this 1 meal a day. And because you're not fueling your body enough, getting enough calories in, your body's going to hold on to whatever calories that you're giving it to the point where it's not going to be able to release any calories, which means release the body fat. So that's why you hold on to the weight and you reach a plateau where you're like, I'm eating 1 meal a day, but I'm not losing any weight. What's going on? Eat more food and you're going to notice your body's going to be like, oh, okay, now we can release the calories because we know we're getting fuel in 2, 3 times a day. Now, for the fasted workouts on cardio days and strength training on days that you do eat, this is kind of what I said earlier. If you want to do fasted cardio or fasted upper body days, you can probably get through that. But if you want to do your strength training leg days, fasted, don't recommend. Give yourself some type of food before your workout. And the key thing when it comes to fasted workouts is you have to eat something after your workout. You don't want to work out in the morning fasted and then don't eat anything until midday, hours after your workout. No. So if you do your fasted workout, please, please, please eat something after you're done. If anything, when it comes to fasting, if you want to give yourself a cutoff time, like, okay, I'm not eating anything after 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. so it avoids you snacking after dinner, cool, do that. But fasting 1 meal a day, I would never subscribe to that, never agree or recommend that for anyone. All right, the last question is in regards to cable kickbacks and their form. I feel this in my supporting leg as well. I feel the squeeze at the top of my working leg, but I also feel tension in my supporting leg. Is my stance posture incorrect? Have just been doing this for 2 weeks, so 4 sessions, so I'm still learning the correct technique. This is actually a question I get asked a lot on my videos. Let's just clarify this up, okay? When you are doing cable kickbacks, the leg that you are standing on, you're still utilizing that leg muscle to stabilize your body because your body needs to be stable and kept upright, right? As you kick back. Now, the leg that you're kicking back, you are working the glutes, not the quads or the hamstrings. You're working the glutes of that leg. So this is why when you kick back, you want to squeeze that glute muscle, hold it at the top for 1 second, and then slowly bring it back in control. That way your glutes is being utilized throughout the movement of kicking your leg back and bringing it back in. But the leg that you're standing on, it is normal for you to feel some type of tension in your leg because that is being used to keep your body upright and stabilized. Now, another common thing too is, let's say you start off with the right leg standing up and the left leg is kicking back. When you switch over where now the right leg is kicking back and the left leg is standing up, because you just was working that left leg kicking it back and now you're standing on it, it is normal to feel this leg a lot more because one, you just got a glute pump, and two, now your leg is being used to keep your body stable. So it is okay and normal to feel that leg kind of firing up, but you should still feel the glute of the leg that you're kicking back. A little tip that you can do that helps me as well as my clients is taking a quick 30-second break between legs. So let's say you're kicking back the left leg, cool. Then you take a 30-second break when you finish your reps. Once the 30 seconds is done, now you kick back the right leg. And usually that does help with you not feeling the leg that you're standing on when you switch legs as much. All right, so those are the questions for this video. There are actually some really good questions. So thank you guys for asking me these questions because it gave me content to make this video. And if you guys, as I said, have any questions that you need some clarifications on, you need me to help you specifically, feel free to drop it down below. And I also will be opening that question tab again on my community page in the future. I'm probably going to do like one of these a month. Yeah. We're going to do one a month. So make sure you guys are subscribed so that you can see when I open up the platform for you guys. And if you want me to specifically help you even more, where we do like Zoom calls where I check in with you, we have conversations, I check your form, your nutrition, I track your workouts all through my app, New Body. You can do that through my one-on-one online coaching program. I will leave the link for application down below. So this is a perfect time to get you right because as I said, we are hitting the last quarter of the year. We got 4 months left and a lot can happen when you lock in with the right plan, program, and someone to hold you accountable. Because one thing about me, I don't play about my clients, okay? I want the progress probably more than you want them, okay? So the link will be down below for you guys, but nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.